Hi, and welcome at the sixth quick tip of the Audio Tuts Plus session notation in Sibelius. My name is Yuko Trump, and today I'll be talking about notation for orchestra. This is the last quick tip, and I decided to add this one because of the fact that although a lot of users that use Sibelius do notation for modern rock and pop bands, and obviously other instruments, most of the music that is being written in Sibelius is actually orchestral music that is usually been written for film, television, games, or other kind of cinematic projects. Although Sibelius is also used by people who write in the classical genre, like symphonies and stuff. So that's why I decided to just focus on that a little bit and add some information and just show you guys an example score of a piece which is actually being performed and written by me. Okay, so this is a score called Of Honor and Glory, which is a pretty epic title, but I'm not really a original title creator. So you can see that it has a title page, my name right there, and we can see that this is the full score. So as we go here, we can see the different parts. Like this is the piano. You can see that here it has 13 measures that it has to do nothing. We can see the timpani. We can see the timpani roll here, and we can just go back to the full score. Please do not mind that stupid error. Now, there's a couple of things that is usually being done before these music sheets are distributed. First of all, the basic things like the title and the subtitle, the composer, and also the beats per minute. Now you can see that this is, although it is not really a complicated piece, you can see that it requires a lot of manual retouching, because also this was made in Cubase and then imported. But you can see that I have to manually add all of these crescendis and diminuendis and all of these expressions, like here the marcato for every piece, for the violins, the basses, the cellos, the legato lines here, then the timpani rolls, the forzando at the end, and obviously I had to clean up a lot of rests because importing is just not always going as it should. Now we can see a page break here to save paper, because the first, let's say, I didn't know, 8 measures, the first 16 measures are only being played by a piano, a French horn, a clog, and a violin. So that's why, I've decided that you can put both parts right here and here on one page. Because obviously the musician of, for example, the French horn will only see this, but it's just kind of more handy to oversee for the conductor. Now let me just go again through some of the basics. Adding expressions is Ctrl E, and then you can either choose between this or type something yourself. You can add a time signatures like this, which is Ctrl what is it? Yeah, which is just T on the keyboard. You can obviously add these techniques here. You can obviously add the emotional values here, like the mezzo forte, soft and loud. You can add, well, again, the techniques like concertino, and I have added here the 15 MA, which is 2 octaves higher than notated. So to do that, what you can simply do is go the right mouse button and then click line, and then you'll find them here. So 8VA means a octave higher, as does 50 MA. So you can see that 8VB means 1 octave down, and 15 MB means 2 octaves down. The cool thing is that you can actually see the descriptions right here of every kind of things, like the slur here, the legato bow, between, you can see it beneath here. Now you can add system-wise lines like ritenuto, rallentando, accelerando, and to do a little bit faster. And to apply them, just click OK, then just draw a line right here, and then you can see that at the top of the page, from where you want it to start, you place this, and from where you want it to go on, you can simply drag it, make it longer or shorter. That means that the acceleration of the speed has to be from here to here, and after that it stops at a higher speed. So obviously different instruments require different notation, and that is really something that you need to be careful about. Because if I would have printed this like this, this could not be played. Now a lot of people do not know why, but a French horn is usually not notated in this key. It is usually a French horn in F or in B flat. So we need different key signatures for the different instruments, and also we need different clefs here for the viola, which is alright, and the double bass also, and the cello maybe. So there's just a lot of things to worry about, just like the fact that a piano, for example, cannot do a glissando as the notes are not connected. You need to know in which range the instruments sound best, which is probably the most difficult part. You need to know in which range the instruments have, so that you won't notate too low or too high because they cannot play it. And for example, a English horn sounds in its lower regions very kind of carrying, very nice, very warm and deep. But in its upper sections, it sounds almost like a normal flute or an oboe. So you want to distinguish between the different sounds within the different instruments, and that is also called orchestration. The process of creating a score and then notating it right here, but being sure that it can be read by every individual player. Now, I've also recommended this in, I think it was the Quick Tip 2. There's a book called The Study of Orchestration by Samuel Adler. And there's also a lot of other books which you can just buy, or I don't know, download for free maybe, or borrow from a friend, which basically show you how to notate for different instruments, what the different ranges are, a lot of classical examples also, and that is just really handy, because the whole essence of these quick tips is not so that you can just, okay, I have an instrument, let's just notate something. No, the whole essence of these quick tips and of Sibelius is to get the music that you have created in your head or in Cubase, that it is being performed by real live musicians for way more emotional value and also better recording quality. So therefore you need to know quite a lot, and actually orchestration is an entire subject on music university, and it requires years and years of practice and also experience before you can go ahead and have a normal reliable notation. However, there are enough resources online, also on Audio Tuts, on how to notate for different instruments. If you are notating for a modern band, then you can go ahead after these quick tips. But if you really want to notate for orchestra, I really recommend that you just bring someone in who knows a little bit about it, and that can give you tips and tricks and show you how to notate. Now, the other cool thing is that, I see it right now, is that if you would actually bind all of those papers together, you would create this kind of booklet, and you can see that these two pages are connected. Then when you turn the page, these two pages are connected, and this is the final page. So this is just a little addition to the printing layout, because as we go to Control D, we can see the document set up here, how it's being printed. Now, this was pretty much everything about orchestration that I wanted to show you in this last quick tip. I hope you enjoyed the quick tips, and I also really hope that you are now inspired and go ahead to play live instruments, because no matter how well your VST instruments are, or how well you can notate, the final goal is to let your music be played by real instruments, and that is just the ultimate goal, because as I said, no matter how good your VST instruments sound, everything will sound better live. Well, though it's also something personal. But personally, I think that computer-generated music is really not a real music, and it just lacks of emotional values. And that's the whole point of Sibelius, to be able to have an idea, musical idea, and then notate it, and then let it be played by an actual instrument. Okay, so I think that I've said enough by saying this. I want to thank you for watching. My name is Hugo Trump, and this was the Audio Tuts Plus session Notation in Sibelius, and I'll hope to see you next time.